What's good? MKO Pugilism checking in. So just watched Taylor versus Cameron 2 for the Undisputed 140-pound super lightweight title, and pleased to report that it was a very exciting fight, very exciting fight. And this was one of those fights where, unlike the first one, I felt this fight was pretty close to the first one. Taylor Cameron won. I thought was pretty clear in Cameron's favor. I thought she kind of bossed that fight, but this was an interesting fight. It was more exciting. It was a lot closer round for round for me, a lot closer. Yeah, so I'll just take you through what I saw in this. So the first three rounds, very exciting rounds. I mean, for me, I had Chantelle Cameron winning the first two. Winning the first two clearly, and I think Cameron definitely deserved to win I think it was the second round. There was a knockdown where she put Katie Taylor down with a jab, and the referee just sort of picked Taylor up and said she was off balance. But you look at it on the replay, even the commentary was saying, nah, that's a punch, because it was clear. I think it was a jab landed by Cameron. Taylor falls over. She may have been off balance at the time, but the main point is, when you if you get hit with a shot, you go down, it counts as a knockdown. That's the bottom line. So I think for me, that's one of the controversial things in this fight, that Cameron did deserve a knockdown. But for me, Katie Taylor began to come into her own from the third round onwards. The first two were close, but I thought Cameron kind of bossed it behind the jab. Good straight combinations. She was having her way, but as the third round goes, you get Chantelle Cameron gets cut. It was ruled as a clash of heads, so she gets cut there, and that causes her problems. And I thought Katie Taylor won that third round, and pretty clearly for me. It was Cameron did have her moments for sure, but for me, Taylor just done the better work, the more eye-catching combinations. And again, Taylor continued his pattern. Fourth round comes in. She boxed very well in that fourth round. Used some good movement and her combinations. Although you could see that her punches were not like as hurtful as Chantelle Cameron's. Her punches were not as heavy. She's coming up in weight. She doesn't really carry the same level of power. Whereas when Cameron landed punches, you could see there was visible signs that, oh, she's rocking her here. But I thought Katie Taylor sort of bossed the fourth round for me. And for me, she kind of evened the fight up in the fourth round, because she kind of took the momentum from the third round, boxed very well in that round, good combinations, everything, and then the fourth round comes about, and she kind of bossed that too. Just the better movement, better combinations. She was making Chantelle Cameron come off second best in that round, and again the pattern kind of continued in the fifth round. Where for me that was kind of, I guess you could say, maybe a swing round. Taylor, she boxed pretty well. Chantelle Cameron had a moment with the straight shots, and she may have even matched Taylor punch for punch in that round. But Taylor's overall strategy, the movement was kind of working for her a lot better. So for me, I felt she ever so slightly outlanded Cameron, or I got in my notes, I put she outlanded her quite clearly. As I felt in the fifth round, although Cameron did have her moments, I felt that Cameron was just getting hit too much for my liking. Taylor's fast combinations that she rattles off, those kind of or they're kind of hooks and straights, and they're very quick, they're very repetitive, but they were really effective in that fifth round. The sixth round was closer. I had the sixth round I think I preferred Katie Taylor's work in that round, but that one was a swing round. The Cameron really had a lot of moments. It was very even, but I just thought the eye-catching combinations of Katie Taylor won that one for me, so that was my thoughts on it. But I would have no problem swinging it to Cameron if you thought her work was more effective. you know, this as we went on in rounds, seventh round, that was a back and forth round. Another round where it was swinging one way, then the other. Cameron would have her moments, then Taylor would have her moments. You know, Taylor's combinations, because they're all to the head, are a bit more eye-catching. But Chantelle Cameron was landing to the body. There was some certain time landing a good right hook that's right into the ribs, you know, of Katie Taylor, and she was going to the body quite well, Cameron. But it was a kind of back and forth round, very hard to score. And the fight got a lot rougher and a lot tougher as we went into the eighth round, because this is now championship rounds, last part of the fight. And Cameron badly hurt Taylor, and the damage was being done, as I say, with a lot of body shots. You know, Taylor was getting damaged with these body shots from Chantelle Cameron. Cameron boxing, intelligent fight, nice body shots, and some very, very good uppercuts. I mean, it's good, I don't know, 4 or 5 uppercuts in a row there. You know, her infighting was fully on display in that eighth round. You know, Cameron just, you know, was lighting Katie Taylor up with shots and really hurting her to the body. You could see Taylor was sort of visibly shaken and everything. And as we went into the ninth round now, I had it. For me, this fight was pretty close. I mean, Taylor probably in the ascendancy for me, and I put down that this fight has like third fight written all over it. No matter what happens here, it seems to be going Katie Taylor's way at this point. And I was just thinking to myself, this has just got rubber match, third fight written all over it, you know. And the ninth round, that was a very close round. Chantelle Cameron, as I mentioned before, she was cut early in the fight, clash of heads. It looked like Katie Taylor was cut, but not to the same extent. And Cameron's cut just began to get worse and worse in the ninth round, but there wasn't allowed her to continue. And with the ninth round being quite close, I just thought to myself, well, it might even be all down to this last round, all down to this 10th round. And the 10th round, you know, it was a round where Katie Taylor used a lot of intelligence. She held Chantelle Cameron for, you know, a lot of the round. So Chantelle Cameron would try to get off. She'd get off with a few punches. Taylor would grab her and hold her. And this is something that Cameron sort of complained about earlier in the fight towards, I guess it would have been about the 8th round. And yeah, so Cameron tried, and she landed slightly the more effective shots. Taylor did land a few combinations, and it was nip and tuck in that 10th round. Taylor used a bit of her intelligence by just holding on to Cameron, and you know, that 10th, it was, I guess it was kind of a sort of even round. And yeah, it was really hard to pick in that 10th round, because you could argue Chantelle Cameron's punches were more effective, but because of Katie Taylor's holding, and because of the fact that Katie Taylor also landed some good combinations, some flashy punches, so she might have even taken a round on the judges' scorecards, you know, because her work was more flashy, more eye-catching, and more noticeable. So you could argue, okay, maybe you give it to her, because Chantelle was prevented from doing a lot of work in that round, in that 10th round. So it was very close, very even. And again, it might just depend on what you like. Do you pick those few more effective or more powerful shots from Chantelle Cameron, or do you pick the punches you can see more clearly, the eye-catching stuff from Katie Taylor? So yeah, it was a scrappy round, a messy round, the 10th round. It was probably the worst of the fight, but the fight was excellent, so it didn't really matter. So comes to the decision now, and Katie Taylor retains her titles. No, what am I talking about? She wins, the Undisputed 140-pound super lightweight, aka light welterweight title. So now Katie Taylor is officially two-weight undisputed world champion. So that's fantastic for her in her career. With this fight, I could definitely, I wouldn't grumble at a draw. I thought maybe you could have scored this a draw. It's a hard one, but I'm not mad at the result at all. I think, yes, Katie Taylor did deserve it. You can't begrudge her that. I think this is one of them fights where it's either you give it to Katie Taylor, or you give it as a draw. I think it was one of those two results wouldn't have been bad, and because I don't think Cameron done enough in this fight for me to take it. The scorecards, one of them was very controversial, which was a score of I think 98-92, which is like you're giving it to Katie Taylor by 6 rounds, which for me is that's a poor scorecard. That's a crazy score. That's the type of scorecard that you think to yourself, well, this guy's written out his scorecard before. He's probably written a scorecard the day before. One of them corrupt looking scorecards. But anyway, the other one was fair, 95-95, and then I think the other scorecard had it to Kate Taylor by about, I think it was about 4 rounds, something like that. So yeah, there's two of the scorecards were kind of okay, and then the other one was just silly. But anyway, for me, I guess the right person won, and the talk after it in the post fight interview was about having a rubber match and getting it on at Croke Park, and that's what for me, Katie Taylor, she could retire if she wanted to. At this point, she's done pretty much everything you can do, but yeah, if they could have a rubber match at Croke Park, I'd be all for it. It was a brilliant second fight. It was better than the first fight for me. Yeah, let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Who did you think won? And yeah, what do you think about the third fight in Croke Park? Let me know your thoughts. Until next time, MKO Pugilism over and out.